Everyone. It's Michael Manahan here. I am sitting in for the renowned Don Baillargeon on Money TV, and very excited today to bring you. This is a really interesting company. The company is called Green Rebates, and I've got the Chief Executive Officer, Dylan Collins, on with me. Dylan, how are you?
I'm doing great. Thanks, Mike. Happy to be here.
Great, fantastic. So, Dylan, tell us, what exactly is Green Rebates?
Well, we're an energy efficiency company. We're highly specialized in indoor and mixed light horticulture. Effectively, we help businesses get free money in the form of rebates and incentives for saving energy and upgrading equipment.
So that sounds. I mean, it. I'm not quite sure I understand exactly what you're saying. So maybe kind of walk me through it. I own a building. Let's say I'm growing. I don't know. I'm growing marijuana, and I've got all these lights out there that are making the marijuana grow. And those lights are costing me a lot of money, right? I mean, my utility bill is going through the roof. You can help me with that.
Absolutely. As we all know, saving energy and electricity is critical these days for just the health of the grid itself and providing electricity and environmentally. And essentially, there's a lot of programs and incentives and actual cash available for businesses that are willing to try to improve their energy efficiency. And a primary method of doing that is upgrading equipment to equipment that is much more efficient.
So, as an example, changing old fluorescent lights with these modern LED lights.
Yeah, fluorescent lights, HPS lights, metal halide lights, a lot
Mhm.
of what's still standard in the industry.
Great. So, you're able to help the customer do that. And then once the customer has completed the project, then you're able to help the customer pay for that retrofitting of the building, if you will, with a grant or I guess a subsidy of some sort from the local utility. Is that the way it works?
Yeah, there's various organizations and mechanisms that actually facilitate the funds. But typically it's through the utilities. They're the ones managing the programs. And it is definitely for retrofitting, but it's also for new construction as well. We can create theoretical baselines to determine how much energy would be saved from them starting the business with efficient equipment as opposed to using the lower cost alternatives. And so the funds that are available are intended to supplement that cost, the higher cost of installing the more advanced energy efficient equipment.
So, how much could a building operator who's got a fairly high electric bill, how much could they save as a percentage by implementing your strategy?
Uh, it actually can be up to 100% of the cost. So there's scenarios where we can install equipment for free for the customers. In rare scenarios, it can be even more than that, but up to 100% is totally feasible, and that can include lights, but as well as other measures, HVAC, dehumidification, and various other forms of efficient equipment that as long as we can show that there's energy savings there, there's potential for funds.
But that's the rebate side of it. But what
Mhm.
about the ongoing cost? Because once you've done this retrofitting to the building, clearly the energy bill should be less than it was previously.
Absolutely. That's what it's all based on is the estimated amount of energy that's going to be saved after the project is completed. And typically, customers could expect to save anywhere from 20 to 40%, even more sometimes, on their actual electricity costs.
Wow. Well, if you're an industrial user and you've got an electric bill of five or six or $7,000 a month, that's a lot of money. That adds up pretty quickly.
Oh, absolutely. And when you look at it from a financial perspective, by incorporating the incentives and rebates, you can many times look at an ROI of less than a year. And
Wow.
from then on, it's just extra cash in your pocket.
So, okay, if I own a building or I'm running a building, that's using a lot of electricity. Why should I engage your services? I mean, isn't this something I could just do myself?
Well, yes, technically you could, but we're the experts, and so we can help in a number of ways. It's as simply as using our network to lower the actual costs of the project, but making sure we're maximizing the amount that we're getting from the incentive and identifying all opportunities. There's often things that are overlooked if you were just to try to do it yourself because you don't know where to look.
Right.
And, you know, um, I would relate it to uh, taxes in some scenarios where you wouldn't really want to go and try to contact the IRS to do your taxes. You want to make sure that somebody who's advocating for your benefit is the one that you're consulting with.
Well, as a finance professional and finance expert, I understand exactly what you're saying because, yeah, I don't even do my own taxes. I engage a professional, an expert at taxes to do them. Okay, so how do you make money?
Well, we get paid by either the rebate itself or the utility as part of that. So there's no out-of-pocket cost to the customer. It's very important to us to make this as financially feasible to the customer so that we can actually get more products done, our projects. So uh, I would say we actually because of our expertise and our ability to increase and expand the total amount of the rebate that they're getting through various means, our services pay for themselves.
So you now I know you're trying to raise some capital. What do you plan on using that capital for?
Well, a primary use for that would be to expand our ability to fund and finance these projects. There's a lot just with the state of the industry across the nation right now. Businesses that would like to do this don't necessarily have the capital to pay for all the equipment up front. And with these highly generous incentives that are available in a lot of areas, we could effectively fund the project completely. And in some scenarios, get the product, install the product completely free for the customer. So they're realizing all the benefits without having to put any money out of pocket.
Wow, that's amazing. So for the operator, nothing out of pocket. They get an energy savings. Everything gets paid for by the utility, and you orchestrate the whole thing, so they don't have to be experts at this particular technology. So, Dylan, I'm sure there's some people watching this who either might be interested in helping you with the funding side, or alternatively, could be potential customers. How should they get a hold of you?
Well, they can check out our website, greenrebates.com. They can email info@greenrebates.com. Um, and we do have an 800 number that they're welcome to call if they prefer phones on our website.
Okay, fantastic. I am Mike, your guest host, Mike Manahan, sitting in for Don Baillargeon, and I have with us Dylan Collins, the CEO of Green Rebates. Dylan, thanks very much for joining us.
Absolutely. It's been a pleasure, and thank you for having me.